this video, we cover the following topics. Desaturation refers to reducing the intensity or vibrancy of a color, making it appear more muted or dull. In watercolor, this can be done by altering how pure the pigment appears. Understanding desaturation helps create subtlety, depth, and mood in a painting. To add depth and realism, bright, fully saturated colors can appear unnatural in certain contexts. Muting colors can bring balance and realism, especially in landscapes, shadows, and atmospheric effects. To avoid overstimulation, too many fully saturated colors can make a painting feel overwhelming. Desaturation allows colors to harmonize without clashing. To show distance and space, in nature, distant objects often appear less saturated due to atmospheric effects. Mixing with a complementary color. How it works: mix a color with its complement on the color wheel to reduce its intensity. This results in neutral tones, browns or grays. For example, mixing a bright blue with its complement, orange. Mixing with a neutral gray. How it works: adding a neutral gray to a color decreases its intensity without changing its hue. Example: start with a vibrant red and gradually add gray to make it more muted and earthy. Adding a complement. How it works: mixing any watercolor paint with its opposite or color complement. This results in the truest form of desaturation because the color becomes closer to gray or a brown. For example, a pure blue is mixed with an orange to produce a muted and desaturated gray. Adding any other color. How it works: combining watercolor paint with any other color will desaturate the color. While this primarily affects hue, this results in a form of desaturation because the color becomes less pure. For example, carmine with a touch of another color. Adding water. How it works: diluting watercolor paint with water can soften the intensity of the color. While this primarily affects value, it also results in a form of desaturation because the color becomes less concentrated. For example, a deep blue lightens as more water is added, making it appear less vivid. What's the difference between desaturation and value? Desaturation refers to reducing a color's intensity, making it less vibrant or grayer. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. While adding water primarily affects value, making the color lighter, it can also desaturate the color by making it appear less intense. Desaturation is often termed muting because it refers to reducing the intensity or vibrancy of a color, making it less bold and more subdued, essentially quieting or softening the color. In everyday language, muting describes the process of making something less noticeable or less extreme, which is what happens to color when it is desaturated. When a color is fully saturated, it appears vivid, bright, and intense. However, by desaturating it, whether by mixing it with gray, adding a complementary color, or diluting it with water, the color becomes less eye-catching and more neutral, or muted. This muting process softens the impact of the color, making it less vibrant and more harmonious with other elements in the composition. Thus, desaturation is sometimes called muting because the resulting effect is a more understated, balanced, or toned-down version of the original color. Desaturation in watercolor reduces a color's intensity, making it appear more neutral or muted. Achieved by mixing with gray, adding a complementary color, or diluting with water. Understanding desaturation allows for more sophisticated control of color, creating depth, balance, and subtlety in painting. Unlock the secrets of watercolor with comprehensive watercolor and interactive guide for learning to paint with watercolor. This one-of-a-kind guide combines detailed explanations, step-by-step instructions, and over 200 embedded videos to help you master techniques and build confidence in your watercolor journey. Whether you're a beginner or looking to refine your skills, this guide has everything you need to grow as an artist. If you're ready to take your watercolor skills to the next level, you can find links to purchase comprehensive watercolor in the description below. Take the guesswork out of choosing watercolor supplies. The Ultimate Watercolor Product Guide is your free resource for making confident choices. The guide includes paint sets, paintbrushes, palettes, and cool tools. This free guide accompanies the book Comprehensive Watercolor, an interactive guide for learning to paint with watercolor. Download your free copy of the Ultimate Watercolor Product Guide today by clicking the link located in the video description below or visiting mandikins.com. Thank you for watching. Tap the archer to subscribe and the bell to be notified when I post new content. To continue your watercolor journey, click a video from one of the playlists above.